Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Galen Whitley Keith, and I'm here today with,
Randy Keith.
and we'd like to introduce you to one of our favorite books of the Bible, Job. Job was quite interesting and has so many layers that a lot of authors and teachers have skipped over. And we've been studying Job for over 10 years, looking for those little nuggets, and we hope to share them with you. If you go to Job 1:1, at the beginning of the book, you learn that Job was a righteous man who feared God, loved him deeply, had respect for him, and followed his law. Possibly how he learned all this wisdom was from his ancestors. He had quite an amazing heritage.
Job's family tree, one of the major people in his family was his great-great-grandfather, Abraham. And Abraham, as we know, had Isaac, and Isaac had Jacob, and with Leah, Jacob had Issachar, one of the 12 patriarchs. He was the fifth son, as you can see. And Job was born to Issachar, and he was the third son.
One of the interesting parts to learn is how and where Job lived. I'm trying to set up some things for you to see a map of the area in which Job lived. It's quite important to have that because with it we learn that the timeline and the frame kind of connect who is the author of the book. So Randy's going to explain kind of the area of the map to you.
Well, this map will show you the land of promise. Basically, has Syria, Jordan, and Israel as we know today. And you can see the little lake right there in the middle of the screen, middle of the map. That is Galilee. The Lake Galilee next, some books call it Lake Tiberias. And you can see that east of Galilee area is where Job lived in the land of Uz, which was his ancestor, I'm sure, because the son of Aram was Uz. And so, as we know today, this area is steeped with the land of promise.
Part of the interesting part is when we get down to discussing who is the author of this book, we can see from another map, it kind of gives a connection of the ancestry to Moses. Moses kind of lived in the same area as Abraham did.
You can see that after Moses, he was going to become the Pharaoh of Egypt, and he got in trouble with the people of Egypt, and he ran away, and he went and hid in the land of Midian, and he came across the people of Midian, which were nomads, and he married I think it says it's the high priest of Midian. His name was Jethro, who became his father-in-law, and I'm sure Jethro introduced him to Job, or at least because they were contemporaries. Moses probably was young, as we know. He's probably in his 30s or 40s, but Job lived a very long time, and so he was, I'm sure, was introduced to Job and his trials, which is recorded in the book of Job. And so we know that the book of Job has poetry, and on the beginning and the end has kind of a prelude and a afterlude, I guess you would say, about Job and his life and how to give more detail of what the poetry in the middle is all about.
Another thing is many people go, well, was this really just an allegory, or is Job really a true person in the Bible? Well, we find him in many spots. First of all, we find him in the lineage in Genesis, where he is the son of Issachar. We also find him, let's see, let me check my notes. We find him in James, and we find him in Ezekiel. So he was not an imaginary or fictitious person. He was actually a man who lived and faced trials in his life. And what we're going to do in the next lesson is begin to understand why these trials occurred, who was doing them, and finally, when we conclude at the end of the book, we'll give you an answer that most of you don't know. Like most people have asked themselves, why is there suffering in the world? And why is it happening? And what's up with God? And where is God? And why is God allowing it? Especially during the time we're in. So we're going to conclude our book and study of Job with that answer. So we hope you'll continue on. Another important thing about learning who the author of Job was, we assume they were somewhat connected. Besides that they lived in the same area, Moses had the same ancestry as Job. They both stem back to Noah, so they have a family connection. They have the connection with Shem, who became Melchizedek, and we have in our teaching some more information about him. So as we conclude today, we hope that you will go to our website, truthwins.com. Again, Truth Wins. And the winds is W-I-N-S, it's not the wind blowing out there, it's truth wins the battle, W-I-N-S. And you'll go there and get our PDF. It's all free for you to study, and there's pictures and maps and much more to learn from the study. And anything else to say?
God is good.
God is absolutely good, and truth
Conquers.
wins.
Wins.
Truth wins.
Truth wins.
So look forward to being with you again down the road. Have a great day.